Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be playing as the United Kingdom, and we're going to be forming the Imperial Federation. I've been waiting a while to do this, but I guess now we're finally doing it. And the first thing I do is, of course, as the British do, go after Ireland. Now, the Irish actually beat me at one point, and they actually managed to push through my lines. But luckily, I'm able to pull back my troops and recover, and just like that, we take over Ireland pretty quickly. And I don't waste a beat. I move my troops immediately to the capital, assimilate Ireland, add some more troops, and then immediately go and invade Cyprus. A nice little island in the Mediterranean. We're uniting Cyprus now, all under Britain. So I guess that works. And so next, I decided to go for the American territories, the ones in Central America that I need. And first up is Belize. Of course, I just invade Belize. It's pretty simple. Now, of course, I realized that 7,000 would not be enough to invade Nicaragua. And so what I do is I just recruit a bunch more people from the United Kingdom all the way, send them across the Atlantic to invade Nicaragua, which we promptly do. And this time, I decided instead of just taking the strip of the coast, I take over all of it and release a puppet government in nearby to take care of the rest of the territory because I don't need it. And then I assimilate the other bits of the territory. I built the port so they could get out of there, and then I invade Guyana, which is my South American conquest, which is all I need really is Guyana and Venezuela. Now, Venezuela, here's the thing. Venezuela is quite a bit stronger, so I decided to attack Port of Spain, right? Or Trinidad and Tobago, I think, yeah. And I decided to take them out and leave Venezuela for later because, Venezuela is going to be a bit of a challenge. And I decide next to basically just focus on Africa now. And so I do as they did in 1800 and just focus on Africa. So the first thing I do is I get military access from Senegal and invade Gambia. That goes pretty easily. And then I immediately get military access from Guinea, to which I supply some more troops to that region. And there's a giant outbreak of virus, but whatever. I invade Sierra Leone. And a bunch of nations actually get to go to war with me in a coalition at one point. But I'm able to stave off that whole thing and then just avoid them. They peace out with me. They don't want the smoke. Afterwards, I start mass recruiting over in Ireland, using Ireland as a real recruiting ground. And I basically get everyone to go and invade Ghana. But, I'm rudely interrupted by Central America, I forgot which nation, but it's Central America. They just attack me. It's fine. But I promptly invade Ghana very quickly. And with the remaining troops, I almost feel like I could just continue. And I annex Namibia because, look, guys, in this game, it's really easy to annex Namibia. They usually just, fall to an ultimatum so easily. But right when I took Namibia over, Angola and South Africa both declare war on me. Now, Angola pieces out, and now I realize that I'm not going to be able to just invade South Africa either. But what I do is I take defense in Windhoek, and luckily they even stop right there. And then I use my troops that I have, right, and just barely managed, or not barely, but I'm just barely managed to push into South Africa as much as I can. Although I know that it's likely not going to work because I have very little troops, and I did not want my progress to be overturned just like that. And so I decided to peace out and leave it at that, take a chunk out of South Africa and just weaken them overall, but come back for them later for the killer blow. And so afterwards, I realize I'm getting attacked by a bunch of European countries, Switzerland, Norway, Germany. I'm not going to waste my time fighting them. And so then Mexico attacks me, and I'm like, okay, there's no way Mexico is just piecing out after, declaring war on me, so that's not going to work. So I just let the Americans deal with them. Meanwhile, I'm more concerned about Venezuela over here, and so I started recruiting units. But also, on the other hand, I have Zambia to deal with, they start attacking me as well. And here's where I made a slight mistake in that I thought Zambia was necessary. And while I was dealing with all this, I was dealing with multiple wars, right? Nigeria was also at war with me, and they landed in the UK. I managed to stop them one time, but they'll land later. And while I was fighting all of this, I was trying to get all my troops in order and fight Zambia because I thought Zambia was part of my territories that I needed to conquer. And the stupid thing is, I wasted time on attacking them. I mean, South Africa attacked me again. Guinea attacked me, and I had to peace out with both of them. And then I just invaded Zambia, right? But after conquering Zambia, I was met with the realization that I never even needed them in the first place, right? I annexed them, and then it's just like, oh, I don't actually need the territory. I even spent money assimilating, but then it was actually Zimbabwe, guys. I attacked the wrong country. So I just released them back in shame. And then I proceeded to Nigeria then proceeded to attack me, which I raised units quickly. Luckily, I had the money to do so, but like, imagine if I actually lost that. That would be kind of bad. But Mexico is slowly being defeated. I really did not care whatsoever what was going on in Central America. I knew the Americans were taking care of it. And so I raised yet another army in Ireland and demanded military access from Togo so I could use that to invade Nigeria. And so I attacked straight from Lagos and then continued on. But of course, the Nigerians were pretty strong. And after a couple more pushes, I decided that maybe it's best to stop here because, similar to South Africa, I didn't want my progress to be undone. And so I made peace with Nigeria and took away the remaining troops, assimilated the region as well. And meanwhile, I decided to continue on back over in the south of Africa, southern half of Africa. In that, and also, it was that, and then there was also Venezuela though. And so I thought about it, which one I wanted to do first. The troops in Africa would move to south of Africa, and I raised new ones in Ireland, and with those, I invaded Venezuela. And so Venezuela, turns out they had territories over in like the Central America as well, but like I did not really mind them taking a province or two from me. And so I just took over the whole country. And then I just annexed everything from them. I gave the territory I didn't need to my puppet. And the territories that I didn't need in Venezuela itself, I just released as Grand Colombia because why not? Just there as a nice little buffer state for me. And then I took these remaining troops, I moved them all towards the port, and of course Belgium attacks me for some reason, but that's okay. I moved them all to the port, and I send them all to South Africa because I want to finish this southern war, this unfinished business. And I even raised units in Ghana to do the job as well, because I want to do the war prepared. And so I start invading South Africa. And then South Africa, well, let's just say, this time they crumble. Like, they managed to push me back at one point, and I'm actually concerned because I have nothing there, but my troops immediately just reverse everything they did. And then soon enough, I corner them off, and then I conquer the whole thing and annex everything. I try to annex Botswana, but Botswana rejects me. Botswana and Lesotho both reject me, and so I decide to destroy them both properly and make an example of them. And so I circle Botswana from like 3 different sides with my units, and then just attack on every single side and wipe them out within 3 turns. It's pretty nice. And so then I send all these remaining troops to immediately attack Zimbabwe, or at least what remains of it after their war with Mozambique. And now I am ever closer to annexing all of Africa. And Togo attacks me, but I really don't care. And I just spend the next couple of turns assimilating this region. And not only that, I take my units and I circle Lesotho and destroy them because they rejected my offer for submission before. And so I leave my troops remaining there. I think about what I want to do. I mean, the southern tip of Africa is looking really nice and consolidated, but I decided to go back to Nigeria and let that assimilate while I invade Nigeria with a huge army, which I recruited right next to them, which was, yeah. And so I'm able to overrun Nigeria, simply put, and I have that territory in Cameroon to take over, but I decide to leave that for later. Chad is forming a nice empire, though. That's pretty cool. But I moved my units all the way to Mozambique, prepared to finally take that land that was once belonging to Zimbabwe, now for me. And I, of course, spend the next couple turns assimilating Nigeria too. And the invasion of Mozambique, while it goes about as well as you'd expect, I basically just pummeled them on every single front except their capital. And, I instead of just taking the provinces I need, I just conquer the whole thing. And what I plan to do is with it, you see, once I conquer the whole thing, I decide that I want a puppet state, and I release Scotland of all nations, because I had absolutely no clue what to release here. Like, I wanted to release like the Swahili or something. I wasn't sure if that was the right choice, but I just released Scotland because why not? And then just use them as a nice buffer state so that they could protect my southern border. Anyways, I will see you guys in part 2. Bye bye.